guys, and welcome back to another delicious episode of Shelly's Homemade. And today, guys, we're going to be making giant meatballs on homemade garlic bread. And I'm going to show you just how to do it. But first thing we're going to do, we're going to chop up our vegetables. I have some celery, green peppers, and some onions here. And we're going to be chopping for both. We're going to chop for our sauce, and we're going to chop for our meatballs, okay? Alright, so we're going to start with the celery. We're going to get rid of these dead ends of them that, you know, they just don't look appealing, and I don't think you know, should eat it. If it don't look right, don't consume it. So how is everyone's day going? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. I am having a blast today because guess what? Because I get to associate and talk with you guys, and you know, tell y'all some things, teach y'all a little something, show y'all my recipes. I really enjoy showing you guys my recipes. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna thinly chop up this celery, because there's nothing worse than biting into a meatball and nothing is like, and everything you crunching on like big giant vegetables or whatever. So we're not going to do that today. We're just going to chop. We're just going to chop right through. This can be served as an appetizer or an actual meal. What we're going to do today, we're going to serve it up as a meal today. So, I'm just going to run my knife right across the thinly sliced celery, because you want a meatball. You don't want to just chomp down on those big giant vegetables that's not going to be cooked all the way through. And this helps it right here. This right here makes it cooked all the way through. See? Nice and minced up, just like so. Nice and beautiful. I'm going to get these into separate bowls. In one of my earlier videos, while I was chopping, I gave y'all a little conversation about me and my cat and everything, how she was my favorite cat and how she died and everything. It was a beautiful story. She was my everything. But we're not going to tell that story today. We're not going to talk that today. We're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about how I got started cooking. And that means we're going to talk about Big Joyce. That's my mom's name. Her name was Joyce. And we're going to talk about Big Joyce. I know I talk about her on and off and on in some of my videos when I use a pot of hers or something like that. So she was always, you know, in the kitchen cooking for us, you know. Like I mentioned before in earlier videos, I am the youngest of 15 children. You know, I have a large set of siblings. I have 10 brothers and 5 sisters, and for the most part, we really all get along. And sometimes when we don't get along, we tend to you know, fight and argue and bicker, but that's just what siblings do. So, you know, I can't say too much on that, because that's just what happens in a large family. You know, you get some that's really close, and you get some that's not so close. You know, I'm the youngest, so me and the older siblings didn't get along as well. I can't say that. Me and my older sister didn't really get along like that, you know. And then my next to my oldest sister, we didn't really get along like that either. But me and her were, I guess, cordial when we were kids, and then when we got adults, we started getting along. I guess because I was a little tiny kid and we didn't have anything in common. But then we started, I guess, to get to know each other and get along with each other. So that's how, that happened. So anyway, let's talk about my passion for cooking. My passion for cooking came from my mom. She would be in the kitchen, and all I wanted to do as a child was go outside and play. I didn't want to be in there cooking with her. There was no such thing as you don't learn how to cook in Joy's house. You needed that skill, she said. You need this skill to feed yourself. And that's the skill I had, and I learned to feed myself. So right now we're chopping up bell peppers. So like I said, we're chopping twice. Once for the sauce and one for the meatballs. And we're going to do really small bell peppers because no one wants to bite into a large bell pepper when they're eating a meatball. So we're going to be doing it like this. Now you're going to get in here and just shimmy it on in and chop. So anyway, as I was saying, my mom, we had to get in there and cook. And she was a great cook. She would have these little parties and for her friends and her sisters and them, and she would make all these big elaborate meals and have dinner parties, and everybody would come from everywhere, especially to get that potato salad of hers. I got some videos of that potato salad. Y'all can go check that out, because that was her potato salad. That was her thing. And all. But anyway, we get to cooking in the kitchen, and she would make it fun for us. She would have her music blasting, some Marvin Gaye, some Sam Cooke, all of that stuff. And Daddy would come in the kitchen, and they'd be dancing together, and Daddy would take my hand and swing me around and dance with me. Oh, it was beautiful. They found joy in each other. Even though they had 15 children, 15 mouths, 17 mouths to feed if you count themselves, and not to mention the friends we brought home to eat too as well. So I'm going to chop these a little larger because they're going to go in my sauce, and we're going to cook these down in my pan. We're going to put these aside and use them for something else. So, when I realized that I actually had the talent for cooking, because not everybody actually have the talent. They think that they do, but not everybody does. So how I found out is that I had the talent for cooking is I dabbled in one of my mom's recipes and I cooked it. And my aunt thought my mom made it. And she was tearing it up, and she just thought that my mom made it, and it was me. I didn't say anything. I was just proud in the corner just to be acknowledged, not even be acknowledged, just to know that she enjoyed something that I made, and that people was enjoying something that I made. And how I knew that I was going to be a baker, how I knew that I could bake. Now this is the story. My brother-in-law, I was about 10, and I was making these peanut butter cookies. I ain't had no idea what I was doing. And child, these cookies turned out to be rocks because I had no idea what I was doing. And my brother-in-law, he went and ate the cookie to be nice, and let me, feel good about eating the cookie that I baked when I was 10. And I enjoyed that. I was having fun in the kitchen baking those cookies. And I thought I was, the ish just doing that thing. But as I got older, I started reading some. Because my mom, this is what she made. She baked sweet potato pie, pineapple upside down cake, and like a rum cake and stuff like that. She didn't really bake, but she could cook. And so I started experimenting with some baked goods, and everybody started, liking what I was baking, eating it. And I experimented with lemon meringue pie. And this is how I know that I turned into a great baker, because my brother, and he don't eat nobody cooking. And he, he tore that daggone lemon meringue pie up. And I was like, oh, I done did it. He was like, you ain't make this. I said, I did. He was like, ain't no way you make this. You brought this from the store. I said, no, it was me. Alright. So I'm just mincing these onions up, and I talked through the other part of the onion where I sliced them a little bigger for the sauce. But that's how I knew that I was going that I like cooking and baking, because Mom made it fun in the kitchen, turn her music on, and I still do it today. I turn my music on and get in the kitchen and let it rip, and I think I do some of my best work when I got that music on, doing my thing. I'm a fan, Jodeci fan, I'm a Drew Hill fan, I'm a Aaliyah fan, I'm a 90s music fan, really, but I'm a big 90s music fan, but I do love the oldie but goodies, some Sam Cooke, some, I guess the kids would say my music from the 90s is oldie but goodies. 80s, 90s, 70s, I like it all. Like all genre music, pop music, country music. I like rock music, hard rock and soft rock. Depends on who's singing. Alright, so this is what we're doing with the onion. Nice and chopped and minced. Alright. Just like so. Nice for my giant meatballs. So what we're going to do next is put those meatballs together so we can get them in the oven and start on our sauce. Alright, so we're going to start with some Parmesan cheese. We're going to add these 3 eggs. That's 1, 2, 3, and I'm sorry, I had 2 pounds of ground chuck, and then I have some ground pork here. Got half a cup of Parmesan cheese, 3 eggs, 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic. We're going to use about a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of salt. I don't want to use too much. Black pepper. Going in with a teaspoon of black pepper as well. A tablespoon of Italian seasoning that's not open. tablespoon. Onion powder. Tablespoon and a half onion powder. Seasonal. If you don't have seasonal, you can use some Lowry seasoning or whatever seasoned salt you like to use. I'm going in with about a tablespoon, half a tablespoon, and 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. Alright. And some crushed red peppers. 1/4 of a teaspoon. You can add as much as you like. This is optional. You can even leave it out. I have my onions, celery, and green peppers we just chopped up. Alright. Alright. Okay. So, clean hands. And we're just going to get in here and just mix. As I was saying, how much, you know, I love music and I get down in the kitchen and I listen to music. Monica, Brandy. Like I said, I love the 90s, Total. I'm telling you. And I was a big DMX and Notorious B.I.G. Tupac fan. Well, my favorite song was Give Me the Loot from Notorious B.I.G. Well, I can quote that song backwards and forward. I used to get in trouble. My mom used to say, can you, I hope you can get your homework done the way you can rap them songs. So I mixed all of this in here one time and just getting it all mixed in because we don't want to overwork the meat. So we don't want to overwork this meat. So the best thing is to always get your meat and everything, all your mixtures and everything in here together. And just mix in your bowl. Alright, just like so. Alright, so I'm going to go get my cookie sheet and come right back. Wash my hands. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to grab some meat like this and pat it around, and then we're going to put a hole in it. Just like this. And then we're going to grab our string cheese, mozzarella string cheese, and get a nice size piece. Just like this. Right in the middle. Like that. Just like that. And then just roll your ball for your giant meatball. Just like that. Get you some more. Get your hole in there, get it in there, get your hole. Get you a size piece like this, because you got giant meatballs. And roll that ball. So this should make about 8 standard meatballs. You know, I had a rap group. Thought I was doing something when I was young. And I had a rap group. And I thought that I was going to go big. Yeah, I'm telling that story. Maybe one day I'll shoot y'all some balls and let y'all hear me. You know, I don't know if I still got it, but you know, I got older now. So ain't no more dancing and jumping around like I used to. middle. Roll this up. And there, that's 4. Put that in there. And roll this baby. Let me know in the comment sections if y'all want to hear more stories of my life, because I got tons of it. You know, I lived in a house with 15 children. Let me just tell you how pillow fighting wasn't regular pillow fight. Let me tell you how. You know, just I'm let it all out. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all some stories. Let me know, and I'll tell y'all stories about my life and how I grew up with 15 kids in the house, being the youngest of 15 kids, dating with 10 brothers. I got some stories about raising kids, and you know, I got a couple of them stories, honey. Maybe it'll help somebody. I don't know. Relationship advice. You want some of that? I'll give you some of that too. Like I said, we're going to make 8 giant meatballs. And guess what? You got 8 giant meatballs. I'm going to stick both of these in here. Alright, so I made 8 giant meatballs. That's what it did. Okay, so these are what the meatballs are looking like. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so I'm not going to put them in the oven just yet. I want to get my sauce started and give that some time to cook. Well, once I get my sauce started, I'm going to pop these in the oven. So I'm not going to do that yet. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and start with that garlic bread. Okay, so let's make our butter. Alright, so we got some of this chopped garlic. Put it right in there. Gonna put garlic powder in there. Probably a teaspoon and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And we put 2 teaspoons of the minced garlic in there. So you take some softened butter. And we're gonna make, whoo! Shelly, what are you doing, girl? And get that mixed in there. It's gonna look like that. And we're gonna set that to the side. I'm gonna grab that bread. Okay, so I like to, when I'm doing this bread, I like to cut it on the angle. This bread, we're gonna leave that over there for snacking or something else. And I want to cut an inch, a little over an inch thick. And get you a serrated knife. And that's what we're looking at. on the bread. Alright, just like this. That bread cut up. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. So I actually want 16 pieces. So I'm gonna grab another loaf. Well, you know what? Let me just do these first. And you want your bread to be like that. And just get it on your cookie sheet. Cookie sheet. If you don't have a cookie sheet, you really should invest in a cookie sheet because, oh my God, you do so much more than bake cookies on that thing. And you just butter them down like this. And this is mostly for the sauce. But you can get you a baguette and just take some olive oil, and if you don't want to do this, get you a baguette and some olive oil and a piece of garlic and just rub it right on the bread and just pop it in the oven, and it gives you almost the same effect. I'm a little extra, y'all. I'm a little extra. If y'all ain't know this, I'm a little extra. I like extra stuff. I don't know, is it me because I have so many brothers and sisters and I'm extra, but for me, I was more closer to my nieces and nephews' age, and I really hung out with them, and I didn't hang out with my sisters and them until I got older. So I was like their big sister. So in a way, I was kind of the baby and the big sister at the same time. I hung more with my brothers than I did with my sisters because, you know, they was married and going on, had their own life, kids and everything. But my brothers, even though they had wives and stuff, I was still the center of their world. And I like that about them. I still pick up the phone today, give them a call, and just talk to them for hours about nothing. Absolutely nothing. It gets on my husband's nerves how much we talk about nothing. And that's because my husband is an only child and he don't get it. So I don't know. You know, I asked them how does it feel to go from you being the only child to have no wife with a whole lot of family. And for some reason, I always end up dating like the only children. Like, that's crazy. Every time I met a dude, and I don't even understand why, he was the only child. Alright. So I'm going to put cheese on some of these. I'll put some parm on some of these. Alright, so 2 of them I didn't put on. Again, I have a picky eater, a daughter that does not eat cheese. Alright, so let's start on that sauce. Alright, so I have my pan, and I'm going to use that butter, that garlic butter, with all them great seasonings that were left over. It's not whatnot, just put it all in there. All that melt down. And I'm gonna get this melted down. And you're gonna get those vegetables in there that we chopped up earlier. And get that cooking. And I'm going to add another, that's for good measures, teaspoon of chopped garlic. Alright, when it get translucent, we're going to come back and do the next step. Okay, so let's add our tomato paste. Because we're going to get that going first. That's how thickening it. And boy, do it bring flavor. And this is a 6-ounce can. Alright. So you're going to get that in there. Smash that around. Because we're going to try and toast that up just a little bit. Get it cooking some. That's just what I like to do. Okay. Now we're going to come in with that tomato sauce. And those diced tomatoes. And a half a can of water. And both of these cans I just put in there are 29-ounce cans. And you want this on a low simmer. Put that in there. So now we're going to season this up. We already got that garlic in there working. Alright. Add some black pepper. A teaspoon and a half of black pepper. Same thing with the seasoning. Onion powder. Teaspoon and a tablespoon. Garlic powder. Tablespoon. And we're coming in with some Italian seasoning. You're going to want 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. You want a couple tablespoons of sugar to balance out those flavors and also cut that acid in there, because I get heartburn real bad, and we want that sugar in there. Alright. And I'm going to let this cook down, and then I'm going to taste it for salt. And we're going to be adding some salt to it. And I'm going to get this covered and let this cook down for me while the meatballs are in the oven cooking away. Alright, we'll be back. So this is what they look like out of the oven. Absolutely beautifully amazing. Look at this one, got cheese peeking out. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So we're going to get these into the sauce, y'all guys, and then when I come back, we're going to make that plate up so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay guys, we're back. Look at this meal. Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Oh my goodness. The bread, the meatball, the sauce. Oh my gosh. Let's dig in. Look. Guys, look at that. I gotta let you see this. Look. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm digging now. So, I didn't go all the way in with the cheese of that, because remember, this is a giant meatball. Get some of that sauce. Look at this. Gotta blow this thing. It is piping hot. Oh my god. Woo! It's delicious. I'm digging a little deeper where the cheese is. Look at that. I'll get some where the cheese is. Look at that. This thing hot, guys. Oh my god. It happened. Y'all got to make this dish. I'm going in with a piece of bread and some of that sauce. Let's get some meat too, because I want it all. Like, I can't start eating this. Oh my goodness. That garlic, even though those herbs was dry, it's coming through. And then fresh red pepper flake, give it the right amount of spice that it needed. Oh god. This is absolutely amazing. Y'all gotta give this a try, guys. I gotta get out of here because I want to tear this up. Because I will eat this whole bowl in front of you. Alright guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Alright guys, alright. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always guys, have a wonderful day. And I'll see you in the next video.